Well, I appreciate everybody's courage and voice today. I'm proud to be a long-serving participant in We Are Change Victoria. A lot of our participants helped put this together today, and we got it together. We got the press release out to the media, and I actually got an interview on CTV, believe it or not, in my living room yesterday. So they didn't talk about the banks though. Now, we're here to talk about Occupy Wall Street. And what's on Wall Street? The big banks. We have American International Group, an insurance company, Merrill Lynch, Bear Stearns, JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, just to name a few. And they knew they could do their dirty work because they were backed by the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States of America. And the Fed. And the Fed. There's been a growing movement over the last 4 years as people have been researching the Federal Reserve Bank in the United States, which is the backbone behind all of this financial chaos. The Federal Reserve Bank, as some like to say, is as federal as Federal Express. It's a private institution. There's nothing federal about it.
Criminals!
They're truly criminals. There's a congressman in Texas named Ron Paul, who's been running for president for the last 2 terms. He speaks about honest money, Austrian economics. We currently live in a system of Keynesian economics, which inflates the money supply and allows the corruption that we see from our fiat government-issued money and the fractional reserve banking system of the Big Five here in Canada. We've had enough of the Big Five. We've had enough of the lies. We are here today. There's a calming message, and Vinny spoke earlier very passionately about fractional reserve banking, and I was very, very impressed by that. Now, we have an opportunity here as we've come together to look for solutions. There is a gentleman by the name of Paul Grignon in Nanaimo, who's a Canadian documentarian who has produced 3 films entitled Money as Debt. Paul is an animator by trade, and he has produced these 3 wonderful films talking about the history of money throughout the ages and where we are today. We gave away a bunch of DVDs today talking about the banking system here in Canada, the poor job that Mark Carney's doing at the Bank of Canada as our governor, the collusion between him, Michael Ignatieff, Stephen Harper, and all the other politicians. And we have solutions where we can use a barter trading system to exercise the free market and exchange of goods and services that hold true value. We've been doing it here in Victoria. We see marketplaces popping up all over the place. There is a solution called self-issued credit. It will completely undermine the fabric of the financial system right now. It'll put all those big bankers and politicians out of business. We'll check out Money as Debt. We gotta have sincere gratitude to Paul Grignon for creating that and the co-producers. That's all I'd like to say. Thank you very much for being here.
Where is it?
Okay, so on our list next is Brad Rhodes. Brad also ran for the Canadian Action Party because of their monetary policies. So welcome, Brad. Also a member of We Are Change Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great being out here. I'm glad to see so many people came out. And I'm also of the sentiment that we should be going like way back to Douglas and back to the highway with people gathering. If they actually knew what was actually going on. Yeah, I mean, where do I start? I'm a regular guy, just like most of you people. I work, I raise my kids, I pay my bills. You know, I come home tired, turn on the TV, you know, and try to get caught up on what's going on in the world and where I'm at. And unfortunately, the fact is, people, we've been had. Us working people who just want to take care of our kids and have a life and get along, and we try to go along to get along. We've been had really bad, okay? And we're being had because we all want to do the right thing for our children. We all want them to have a good education. We want them to have places to live. We want them to have a free society, free from terrorism and brutality and all these things. But the problem is that you can't make intelligent decisions on how to, you know, take care of your family and vote and do things if you're getting false information. Yeah. Okay? Now that's how we're being had. We're not getting the message. We don't understand what I hear murmurs in the crowd. Oh yeah, well, that's awful conspiracy theory-ish sort of stuff there. I don't, you know. Okay, fine. Have you ever been misinformed about things before? Have you ever heard of the Gulf of Tonkin incident that's kicked off Vietnam? Who gave you that information? Media! The media! Okay, what about, hey, how about those weapons of mass destruction? See, you know? Do we see a problem here? Is there a problem? Yeah, there's a problem. The problem is we're not getting the proper information to make intelligent decisions to try to improve our society. If you don't know what the blueprint is, how are you supposed to build the building? If the media is supposed to be our eyes and ears, then we need them to give us what is actually happening so that we can see clearly and think clearly to address these conspiracy theories such as chemtrails, 9/11. I mean, if they will lie to you to get you into war before, and you know there's a pattern, then you must start to realize that there's a problem where you're getting your information from. Now, We Are Change Victoria, and we are here to try to give information to people so they can make those intelligent decisions. You see, when you're dealing with the media, you got to realize they're actors, okay? And they're actors who lie. Yeah, they read a script like a teleprompter and they lie. And the fact that they do it for money means that actually they're whores. Yeah. Okay, prostitutes. You see, now you can you know, criminalize and browbeat somebody for being a whore, but what about the person that believes the lies of a whore? What do you think about that person? That person is a fool. Okay, so we're being fooled again, and we're being had. All right, and this is the issue. So we need, why aren't we back to Douglas Street? Because people don't know what's going on. They don't have the information. Okay, so We Are Change is an organization, and we do try to provide alternative media sources so you can cut through all the deception. Like the weapons of mass destruction, like babies being thrown out of incubators, like all the garbage that is being fed to us so our children could go across the sea and fight with depleted uranium and be dead in 10 years. Now, if you knew about depleted uranium in the ammunition, would you send your kid to the front line? I don't think so. But the problem is you don't know about it. And we've got to get the information to the people. We've got to get these information out now, because there are spraying chemtrails. And if you think I'm a conspiracy freak or whatever, that's great. That's fine. But would you at least do the research? You've got to go around the mainstream media And you've got to look up in the skies, and you've got to get involved. And then when we actually get involved in these alternative sources of information, we'll actually get people to have a clue. Then we will have the whole place filled with people. Then we will say, stop spraying now. We will say, get out of Iraq and Afghanistan now. And those people responsible for putting depleted uranium in the warheads will be prosecuted and brought to justice. And that's standing behind your troops. Okay? Not wearing a little yellow band on the back of your vehicle. Anyways, don't get me started. I would just like to encourage people to get involved and educate others, because if we don't really fast, it doesn't look very good for us. Thank you.